Well, today I'm here at the Melbourne Fitness Club, which is on the corner of Collins and King Street in Melbourne, and I'm speaking to Hayden Green. Hayden's a myotherapist, and Hayden, in layman's terms, what's a myotherapist do?
Pretty much, Brendan. Thanks for having me on the show. Pretty much, myotherapy is a physical assessment and treatment of any muscle dysfunction. So when something's usually wrong with you, it's usually coming from your muscles. So we pretty much elongate the muscles to take pressure off any associated joints and things like that. Make sure stress travels correctly through the body.
Well, today, mate, what we're going to ask you is about forearm pump. I know that you know about forearm pump because Hayden used to do a bit of riding himself, and he's helped me out on occasions and done a good job at it at that, let me tell you. So, Hayden, what I'm going to ask you today is basically why we get the forearm pump, and what's one of the reasons for forearm pump, that feeling of the Popeye feeling?
Well, pretty much it's overexertion of any of your forearm muscles, just due to handling a motocross bike. And as everyone knows who do ride them, they are a bit of a handful to hang on to. But pretty much the thing that attaches you to the bike is pretty much your hands. And your hands and your grip strength is associated with all your forearm muscles, which pretty much not only hang on to the bike, but also control the bike. So whether it's actual clutch work or braking, all of your control comes from the forearm muscles. And with overexertion, they contract, which is exactly what a muscle's designed to do, but they don't relax, which is the other part, which it is designed to do. But the muscles, when they are overworked, they dig their heels in, and they just don't actually reset themselves.
Well, Hayden, is there any way that we can prevent forearm pump from the start of the day?
Yeah, well, it's a length thing. If your forearms are actually at their natural resting length of tension, they will operate correctly. Whereas if you, at the start of the day, already have contracted forearms because you ride too much and you don't actually address it or stretch them on a regular basis, you're going to run into more troubles than what they are if they're at nice resting length and tension. So, but what you can do at the start of the day is just self-massage, just by really just ripping into them or grabbing anyone else around you who's actually good with their fingers to actually just get some oil or even just moisturiser and absolutely get stuck right into them. Like, you're not going to hurt yourself. Just get right into them, even just with your knuckles, and just rake the absolute hell out of them, okay? The other way is stretching as well. Your elbow must be kept locked like so, okay? And then with your other hand, you pull your wrist back like that, and you should be feeling it pull all the way down across your actual wrist joint and all the way down the forearms. But as you can see, the forearms muscles go all the way up to the elbow. So, I mean, even just like twanging that one, you'll see how Brendan's fingers are moving like so.
Yep.
And that's because they attach way up here. Okay, so at the start of a race, even get some heat on them, okay, whether you can get those heat wheat bags, or even at the track, you're probably not going to have use of a microwave oven or something like that, where you can just get a hot water bottle out of a thermos or something like that, and just toast them, absolutely toast them, get the heat all through them, and that just gets the blood flowing and makes their muscles actually get up to an operating temperature, just like you do with your bike. So, and then stretch. Pretty much you put your bike on the trailer and go home and clean your bike, and then for a week, you know, you haven't had anything released out of your forearms. You go to race the next weekend, and your forearms are heavy again, and they just don't feel like they've got that spring. And it's one, because they're still contracted, they haven't been actually released because you haven't done any of your stretching, like so, with the elbow definitely locked.
Yep.
Or you haven't had any of the waste products removed. And I mean, you're talking about things on a microscopic level, you know, and it's just small byproducts of that process which we talked about. But it's really important, especially when you're talking about strength, and not just actually pure strength as in grabbing a clutch, but fine-tuned strength as in, you know, using a brake. You know, a little too much brake and you're not going to have a good time, and too less of it and someone's passed you.
There's all too many guys out there that know that feeling, that's for sure. When you do get forearm pump, you can't feel the handlebars, and you know, there's been some horrific accidents because of it. And look, it could be something as simple as massaging and stretching for some people, and other people I know have gone to drastic lengths and had surgery on their forearms, and certainly I wouldn't advocate having surgery, but some people do. But at the end of the day, what we've got to get down to is riding the bike at the safest level that we can and the most comfortable level. And look, if you're going to go and visit somebody like this, a myotherapist, Hayden Green's certainly somebody to come and see at the Melbourne Fitness Club. But I recommend someone do that. I recommend at the start of a race, always stretch your muscles, and that's not just your forearms. You need to stretch your whole body, remembering we're in a fitness sport and we need to look after our bodies.